guys, welcome back to another video. So in the last video we were discussing about what is Ausbildung. It is basically the vocational training but taught in German and in Germany. So this is something you can do after your completion of 10th or plus 2 grades. Even bachelor students can apply for it, but your plus 2 with your plus 2 grades. So in this video we will be discussing about how exactly we can do this Ausbildung. It's quite multiple steps and a bit complicated compared to the normal bachelor's and master's studies in Germany, because one of the main step is to having a German certificate and a German language certificate and some other verification process. So I will be explaining it to you step by step what all you need to be careful about doing an Ausbildung admission. So step 1 is to, as I said, it is always in German. So to get started with your German language, so you have to need at least B1 level of German, and you have to start with it. You have to start learning. It will take like another almost 1 year to reach B1, B2 level of German, to give the exams, to get the results. So get started. If you are planning to do your Ausbildung, so who can plan to do your Ausbildung in Germany? So those are you are a student who are really willing to start a career abroad, but your financial status is not actually supporting to do that. And if you are okay with starting a vocational training after your plus 2, and if you are okay to get paid for that instead of paying a tuition fees, you are the right candidate for an Ausbildung. So what you have to first do is get your German language classes started. And the second step, meanwhile, you have to do is to get your certificates verified. So you did your higher secondary or high school in India or in any other nationality, where Germany have to verify whether the courses you studied, whether the certification you have is genuine and comparable to the German education system. So for this, you have to upload or send your notarized copy of mark sheets, school living certificates, passport, etc. to the authority who will be verifying this for you. So where you can actually do it? It is in the website called annabin.de. So this is particularly and it is specially for the verification of the certificates in different nationalities, comparing the genuinity of comparing the certificates and the qualification between the countries. So what you can do is go to annabin.de, and here you can see how the website looks like, and you can also select. This is how you go from this is how you have to select in federal state. So by federal state I mean here, the moment you decide to do an Ausbildung, you have to also decide in which federal state you want to do your Ausbildung. It is very important that, because your certificates get verified federal state by federal state. It is not a national process. It is particular about different, the process is different from federal state to federal state. So how do you actually choose your federal state? It is actually a personal question, and it depends on the weather climate, or the financial, the cost of living in different federal state, the opportunity of Ausbildung in different state. Maybe the Hessen state won't have an Ausbildung for air control traffic, but the another federal state, Baden-Württemberg, will have an opportunity. So first you can just research a little bit about which type of Ausbildung you want to do and where exactly you can find it. Then you can also think about which federal state you are going and get your certificates compared and verified by that federal state. So this is how you go to the Annabin website. You go there first, you click on this link, then you click on the federal state you want to send your documents. Then in that it will lead to a page where this particular federal state have its own website explaining which all documents and what all documents you have to upload, how to give it to them, like is it by a post mail or there is an application portal for that, etc, etc, and you get this verified. This process can take up to 4 to 5 weeks, or like it can take a couple of months maybe, because it's very dependable on how many applications comes and how exactly they are busy with other schedule. So the ideal situation is you give it as early as possible. If you have your 10th and plus 2 grade sheets, just submit it and get this thing done as early as possible. The general documents you will need for this particular step is the notarized copy of almost all the documents. So the notarized copy of your passport, notarized copy of your 10th grade and a 10th or plus 2, whichever you are submitting, and a notarized copy of the school living certificate. So generally for us, maybe the school living certificate is also a mark sheet, but if it is any different, please be particular about really submitting the notarized copy of your school living certificate. It is very, very important, and it should be in English, and some federal state can ask that particular document in German as well. So then you have to translate your English school living certificate into a German one with a professional translator and verified and notarized again by a notary body. Then you can send all this by a post mail. Generally here they ask to send it by a post, which will cost you around 5 to 8 euros, and then you can wait for another couple of months to get the if things go well, you will get a certificate of comparison at the end of this process, which is mandatory for you to apply for any Ausbildung. So this is just a preliminary step. You started studying your German, you get your certificates verified. Now we will see what happens. So now comes the most important step, that is applying for the Ausbildung. So how you will do it and what you should take care of before doing it. So you have to sit and research a bit about this. Not a bit, I would say this is your career decision. This is the next step after +2. So as important as you search for your bachelor's, as importance we give to select the right bachelor studies for us, you should be very careful about selecting your vocational training in this as well, because you will be investing another 3 years to study this, and you will be most probably ending up with this particular profession. So you should be very careful about selecting this, because you going back to a different profession after 3 years of investment into this particular Ausbildung, studying German, will be not that of a good idea. So do your research. There are multiple opportunities in different types of Ausbildung are there, like into gastronomy. Gastronomy means food related Ausbildung that we are studying. In food related, you can be a baker, you can be a professional chef, not chef, I don't think so, but assistant chef, something like that. So into gastronomy, I'm not sure about. We will do another video about what are the food Ausbildung opportunities in Germany. There is also the main nursing Ausbildung into medical fields, and there are air control, automobile, mechanical, polytechnical, so many different types of Ausbildung are there. So you fix on what is your interest and where you want to enter with it. So you decide what you want to do in your life. So with that, you have to search about what are the opportunities, and also don't think that with this Ausbildung you will be end up with just a vocational training certificate and you cannot do anything else in your life. You always have the room for doing a bachelor's and a master's after completing your Ausbildung, because it's very easy. Once you are certified, once you completed your vocational training, similar to doing a bachelor's or master's in your national country, you can do a bachelor's and master's here in Germany. So if you did automobile, if you did Ausbildung in nursing or Ausbildung in any medical field, if you want to do a BSc nursing, that the bachelor's in nursing, you always have the option and the opportunity to do that if you want to study further. So don't think that your studies will be stuck by this. It's not that that's not the case. You can always continue with your studies. So now, how to actually search for Ausbildung. This particular website is very useful, ausbildung.de. You can go to this website. From here, you can see there is Beruf A to Z. So that means jobs, Ausbildung or jobs from A to Z. And you can, when you click on that, you can see multiple, almost all available Ausbildung in Germany. And you can type your particular Ausbildung. If you are looking for an Ausbildung in medical, you can type medical. If you are looking for Ausbildung in food, you can type food. Then the list of Ausbildung will appear on your page. Then you can select one of it just to see. I'm just selecting it to show you what is inside. In that, you can see the duration of the course. You can also see the pay scale in different years. It is not the same. In the previous video, as we said, it's not the same all the year. It increases, and you can see how it increases, how much it increases, what exactly is the job about, what is the job description, what they are expecting. Are they expecting any additional skill sets or requirements they have? So all the things related to what Ausbildung you selected, it's given in this website, and you can also see which companies are offering this Ausbildung. It might be these companies, and you will be working with this company along with your school, like 3 days in a company and 2 days in a school. So this is the company is offering this Ausbildung. So that's how it goes. And now you can put your application. Once you go down, you can see this tab to put your application, and that's how you go to the application page and start with your application. Now the step is to not stick to just one application, but put multiple applications, or multiple apply to multiple places, multiple applications, so one or two will work for you. So the next step is also you should know what are the documents you require for applying. So once you made up your mind which one you will apply, you need certain documents which are very basic. That first one is the cover letter. So cover letter and the motivation letter is as important as applying to a bachelor or master's studies, especially when you're coming from a different country to study this. You should have a very good motivation behind doing this. So be passionate about it. Be like if you're doing in nursing, you say how from your school days you were very passionate about this. This is the real career you want to build on, etc., etc. And I think this is since the practical work is very much given importance. I think that I am a practical person and I love doing. I love learning things by doing practical, so that's why I selected this, etc., etc. It's just a background, and it should be very powerful. So your motivation letter should be very attractive. Then you will need a tabular CV. So tabular CV is basically the most commonly followed CV format in Germany. You can Google it. It's very much available, and you have to make something in that. And you might be wondering, I just completed +2, how much of things I can add in my CV? But there are some particular things you can write about. Where did you do your schooling and what you learned in your schooling? Like, was it which all subjects you learned in during your schooling? Did you have any extracurricular activities? Like, you can mention it separately. So your subject of learning and the extracurricular activities are most important in your tabular CV of a +2 student. So a +2 or 10th grade student. So that is another thing you will need. And the next thing is your school living certificate and the mark sheets, which are original. So not a provisional or not something else, but the original certificates you may have to upload it. And in the later stages, if they ask for a proof, you may have to send them also a notarized proof of these certificates later. But in the initial stage, you just have to upload your all these documents, your cover letter, your CV, and your not original mark sheets and school living certificate during the application. So what's the next step? If things go well, and if you, as I said, you will be applying to multiple opportunities, and if it goes well, you will be getting an interview call from any among this. So for the interview, it will be in German. So the interview will be in German. That's something very important. And what they can ask, they will ask about your motivation, what did you actually study, and what were the extracurricular activities you were involved in. So these are the basic questions they can ask for, and you can be prepared with that beforehand and give a better interview. Because maybe in German, if you're planning to give it spontaneously, it may not work that well, because at the end of the day it's a different language, and maybe we will struggle even though you completed B1 or B2 level of German. So it will take another a couple of months to get an interview call, and these are the things you will be asked in an interview. And if the interview goes well, ta-da, you will get a job contract, or it's similar to a job contract. So you will be getting a contract along with your all other requirements, where exactly the Ausbildung taking place, where exactly in which school, how many days, how many hours you have to work, and plus what is your payment, how much they are paying each year. All these things will be mentioned in your contract, which have to be duly signed by the employer and the employee. So by you and the Ausbildung giver in the country. So if this document is very important for your visa processing. So the next step is visa. So the documents required for visa, I will be explaining it later, and what type of visa you will be applying. You are not applying for a student visa here, you're applying for a training visa. So your visa is different, and you will be applying for a training visa. And the documents required, as it is, you can also take a checklist of this document from this link. You can follow this link, and there is a checklist. I will also quite explain it, what all you need. You will need a passport, your original passport, and copy of the information page. So this passport will have the first page and the last page with certain information regarding you. So you have to make a copy of that, one copy, and 3 passport size photo of you. So it is actually the biometric photos. So you should be careful about the specification to show your ears, and the face should be visible. So you have to take 3 copies of that. Then you should need your motivation letter. So the motivation letter you submitted for the visa application, you will need that. Then you will need the training contract. So that I was mentioning this, the employee and the employer should be dually signing this contract, and this contract is very important for the visa processing, and you will be submitting the original copy of this at the visa center for the further process. Then you also should give an Ausbildung plan. So Ausbildung plan, what is it? Ausbildung plan is something which is like the entire timetable, or like the 3-year timetable, and every plan where you are doing it, what you are doing. So this will be also provided by your Ausbildung giver, or the employer I should say. So this also you need to submit during your visa processing. Next step is you have to submit your financial statement. So what is with the financial statement? I said you are already getting paid. Why exactly you need a financial statement? So there are different types of Ausbildung, and there are different types of pay. It is not mandatory that you will get like very good pay, enough to meet your maybe not enough to meet your daily living here, but on an average you get 834 euros. But sometimes if your payment is less than 937 euros. So why I'm saying 937 euros is because from the year of 2023, the living expense or the cost that a student living in Germany should show to the visa agency or the Auslander here is 937 euros per month. So if you are not getting paid as much as 937 euros per month, you have to show the deficit. Say for example, you are getting paid only 900 euros per month, and your living expense that is calculated by the German government is 937. Then you have to show the difference of 37 euros into 12 months. So 12 months you have 37 euros that you should show in your blocked account. So creating a blocked account, that is a different step, but you have to create a blocked account and keep this money, maybe 37 euros into 12 months, and you have to keep that in your account and show the financial statement. Once you create a blocked account, you will get a financial statement regarding, okay, she have invested this much money with us, we will be debiting this money monthly to her. So this is the financial statement you will need. So continuing with the documents, there are so many documents you have to submit. The basic things like your CV, which you submitted for your application, the tabular CV, then all the school living certificates, the school living certificate and the mark sheets from your 10th and plus 2 grades, you need to submit that. Then the German language certificate. So German language certificate, completion of your German language certificate is very, very important. You need to submit that. Otherwise, if you are not able to submit the German language B1, or the actual requirement for this course is B2, and you can submit it later only, you can also get a letter from your employee saying that, okay, we have enough training planned for he or she at our company to improve their German language skill. So what she acquired is enough, and you can submit the required German certificate, language certificate. Last but not least, the another document you need is the health insurance. So a mandatory health insurance. Anyone who is coming to stay in Germany will need a mandatory health insurance. This should be pretty clear with all of you, and you have to have a proof of a health insurance. You can open an account with TK, Technical Krankenkasse, online, and they will give you the proof of your account, proof of your opened account for the mandatory health insurance. It's advisable to get a public health insurance than a private health insurance, which is having wider options and wider services. So you get an appointment and do the applications online. You can activate the account later, but the document of you have an open account for a public health insurance is very, very important, public or private. So it is very important. So these are the basic documents you will need to submit during the visa processing of Ausbildung. There are certain documents which is different from normal appointments for the bachelor students or the master students or the employment visa, but your thing is very different, and you should be careful about submitting all the documents very correctly during your visa appointment. So the next step is, once you're ready with, so next step is to book your appointment through VFS Global for a training visa. To get an appointment will also take a while, but once you get the appointment, submit all the documents very properly, and then once that is done, there is a waiting time of 3 months to get the visa. So meanwhile, you can do the shopping, you can search for your accommodation in Germany, which is very important and difficult to find. So start searching for your accommodation, verified by the do the transactions and everything. So that is very important. Then you can also maybe book the tickets and get ready for it. And in 3 months, if things go well, you should get your visa. So that is the entire process of applying for an Ausbildung, and we were. I hope I cleared it step by step. I know it's a bit complicated, but if you have any questions regarding how to do it, and if you're still confused about some of the steps, you can always let us know in the comments, or you can message us and ask. So all the best for your application process, and let me know how did you do that. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. And yeah, thank you for watching.